What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's Professor Anime. Welcome back to another video. In today's video, guys, I am here to bring you all my review of Bungou Stray Dogs episode 4. So let's get this started. So with this episode of Bungou Stray Dogs, I got to admit to all of you, I was a little bit disappointed with this episode. There was at least one major thing that was prevalent within this episode. It was the fact on building up the villains of what we can expect throughout the series of Bungou Stray Dogs. We already got introduced to the Port Mafia in the last episode, and in this episode we are introduced to more villains that are a part of the Port Mafia but have their own little group in it. In this group, it is called the Black Lizard, and we have various other villains who are said to be a little bit more merciless than the Port Mafia. At least that's what it seems like they are. They seem like they are a very merciless group in terms of what they did within this episode, how they appeared in this factory-looking location in a warehouse, I guess, and basically shooting up all of these guys and claimed that they are now going to be working here to suit their needs, and they completely just disposed of these guys, and we as the audience were very surprised by this. We're like, holy shit, these guys mean business. The whole episode was, specifically introducing us to these new characters, the Black Lizard group, and building them up and showing us how merciless they are. However, by the end of this episode of Bungou Stray Dogs, they are literally thrown out like trash. Literally. We also have our main male character pretty much just wandering the streets, trying to figure out what exactly, his place in the world is, because it seems that, he is pretty much not wanted anywhere. He is still having flashbacks of the orphanage, and it seems, from what he thinks, is that he doesn't belong in the agency because of the fact that, all of this stuff is happening just due to him being alive, his presence within the agency, and he doesn't want anybody to get hurt. So we see a little bit conflict with him. However, when he runs back to the agency because the Black Lizard is shooting up the whole place, by the time he gets back to the agency, we find out that actually the agency is completely wiping the floor with the Black Lizard group. Like, what kind of buildup was that if you're just gonna throw out the main villains of the series like trash? Like, I don't understand that. There's no characterization with the villains whatsoever. They even are designed quite menacing, But however, the agency completely just wipes the floor with them. There is no suspense. There is nothing to care about when it comes to these villains. They are just completely, cast aside. So I don't know how I really feel about this episode of Bungou Stray Dogs. I mean, we did see Naomi and Tanizaki, pretty much get wrecked when it came to the battle with Akutagawa in episode 3. So it seems that, the members of the agency aren't really that strong up against Akutagawa, at least. But when it comes to the Black Lizard group, they can pretty much, hold their own. They don't need, any help whatsoever, it seems, because it seems that the agency is so strong that, the Black Lizard group cannot do anything towards this group. Like, is that it of the Black Lizard group? How exactly are they going to pose a threat later down the line of, this series? Like, I'm very curious, is Akutagawa, the only main villain that we are going to be expecting out of this series? Should we even care about the other villains? Like, I don't know. I don't know. This series has a lot of potential. It really does. It's just like, I don't know why we should care about these villains if, they're just going to be cast aside. The only main villain that most of us probably care about at this point is Akutagawa, Ryunosuke Akutagawa. He's a badass, we gotta admit that. And when it comes to the agency, it seems like they have some sort of plot armor. I don't know. We're gonna have to see you know, where these episodes will come down later down the line of Bungou Stray Dogs. I'm definitely going to keep reviewing this series because I personally really enjoy it. I find the comedy sort of funny, but at the same time, it's kind of ruining, you know, the seriousness that I want to see in the series. You know, I mean, in this episode, they were literally throwing out the villains like trash. Like trash, out the window. I'm definitely going to keep reviewing this series because I am enjoying it. Like I said, I find the comedy somewhat funny. However, there's a little bit too much of it, and it's kind of deteriorating from the seriousness of the series that I was expecting. And when it comes to the villains of the series, you know, hopefully, you know, they're gonna stand more of a chance in the coming episodes to come, because with this episode of Bungou Stray Dogs, this was a episode when it comes to this series. I mean, you have an episode that is trying to build up, you know, these characters that are villains of the Port Mafia and that are going to pose a threat toward, you know, our heroes, the agency. However, when you completely, you know, disregard the villains and just let the agency completely wipe the floor with them, you know, there's no build-up, there's no suspense of what we can expect in future episodes to come. You know, at least someone within this episode could have gotten injured. I don't know. And that's just my personal thoughts. Really, there wasn't really too much to review about it. I mean, this was solely just an episode of building up the characters and then completely putting them down the shitter. So not really much to review when it comes to this series. So, or this episode, I should say. So, we'll just have to see, you know, later down the line where the episodes are going to take off from there. Hopefully, things will get better because I do have faith in this series, and I do see the potential. I do see the potential within the series. However, you know, if things keep up like this series could possibly fall off my anime of the season list, you know. So we'll just have to see where things will go from here. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below on what you thought about this episode of Bungou Stray Dogs. And of course, if you like this video, don't forget to drop a like. I would greatly appreciate it. And if you want to stick up to date to my future content on this channel, please hit that red subscribe button below and you will never miss a video from me. That about does it for this video, guys, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.